So today, what I'm going to show you how to do is to make a batch of knives. Stick around. Alright guys, so what we're going to do today is I have a bunch of steel or bar stock, and I have a couple pieces here on the bench. This happens to be 1095 3/16, 1.5 inch, and it's a 48 inch large piece of steel. If you don't know where to get carbon steel, I highly recommend New Jersey Steel Baron. Aldo's always been a friend of mine, and I buy all my steel from him. He also has water jet services as well, but because I have plenty of steel laying around, I'd rather use what I have than buy another sheet. So what I'm going to do is, we have two knives that need to be made today. I have the Void, the original Void. This is the last one that I have, and I always try to keep at least one blank available in case I need to make more, and that's kind of what we're doing. I have about 6 or 7 orders that I need to clean up before we take it off the market. So if you want a Void knife, you need to go up to 3riverblades.com right now and order it, because once this batch is done, I'm not making anymore. So that being said, we're going to make the V2. All right, this is the V2. V2 is a little bit different. So some of the comments that we got on the Void knife, and again, I didn't design the Void knife. The Void knife was made by Jimmy Void, Sit Down Talking Truth. You can check him out on YouTube. He does all kinds of commentary. The blade is fine, but these finger grooves were designed for his hands, and again, like I said, his hands are not the size of everybody else's hands. My hands are a little bit bigger, so as a neck knife, it was a little bit difficult to fit 3 fingers on there. So for the V2, what I decided to do was to make the handle just one flat piece and a little bit of round on the back. Ideally, if this is a 3 or 3.5 finger, you almost got 4 fingers on there, and you could really choke up on that blade if you need to. So that's kind of the idea. I might put some jimping in there, just very simple, 3 notches, and call it good. All right, so out of the new bar stock, that's what we're going to do. This is going to be the V2. I also have a new stamp that we're going to use for this as well. So we have a new stamp, new blade, V2, new neck knife, all that good stuff. So I will be putting it up shortly. You're going to have to go to 3riverblades.com to check it out, and that's where I'm going to have all this stuff. Alright guys, so for marking your steel, if you're going to work with a batch order, like I said, again, we're creating stuff in batches. You could use a regular Sharpie. Regular Sharpie works very well on blade steel, so you don't have to worry about it. Just make sure that when you grind it, you're going to grind it within those parameters. Understand that this is a fat line versus a very thin line. Okay. On here, I also use Dykem. So Dykem Steel Blue is basically designed for steel. You put it on there, you let it dry, and you use a scratch or scratch all, and you just scratch out the design. So you put this on top of there, you scratch it out, and then you start, you do it one after the other, one after the other, one after the other. Alright, so as you can see, I got about 7 blanks already drawn on here, and what I try to do is bring it to as close to the edge as possible. I mean, there might be some rough edges right here, maybe some scaling, but you'd want to do as minimal work as possible. You just want to get these in the rough shape, because again, this is going to take a long time to do all these blanks, and it's really up to you on your labor. So like a lot of people, what they do is, again, they'll use some type of water jet system, and a water jet system works just as good, but it's more expensive. So it depends on how many you're going to make, and I like making steels or knives and then just having them, you know, if they sell out, that's great, everything's good, but you know, just let it go. Alright, so I find it a lot easier to drill the holes before I cut them out, just because it's bar stock and I don't have to worry too much about it. So once it's bar stock, I know where the holes are. Again, with the Voids, it's a little bit easier because I know where they're at, because I already made this design before. So this is just a push punch. There's a spring inside of it, and this is just basic metalworking 101. You put a little divot in there, and what that does is it allows the drill bit to catch, so your drill bit is not walking all over the place. Just want to make sure I'm good here. Alright, so it most certainly helps to have yourself some Champion stock of 1/4 inch, because dull drill bits suck ass and you'll be here forever. And because we are working with steel, steel will dull your drill bits. It also helps to have a little bit of tap magic, which is just cutting oil. So you're doing steel on steel. Alright, so a little bit of tap magic. I mean, this is cutting fluid, so you just put a little bit on there, should be fine, and then restart. I could actually get in there. Oh, there we go. Alright guys, so as you can see, I got a bunch of voids done today, just using regular bar stock. This is 52-100 steel, which is the same as ball bearing steel. It takes a lot of work, it's sweaty, I'm hot, it's nasty in here. I used a ton of belts, I had to get new drill bits. So as you can see, it's a lot of work, which is why these things are so expensive, because there's a lot of work and a lot of labor and love that goes into it. Now this design is the Void knife. This is the first Jimmy Void knife that we ever did a collab on. We sold the whole first batch out, and there's only 7 that I made in this batch. Same steel, same price, same everything, same options. I probably won't be making any more, I'm not really sure. We're gonna work on the V2, which is this knife. I didn't get a chance to get to it, but we will get to that same type of style. These knives are already ready to go to heat treat. So they have to go to heat treat first. Once they go to heat treat, they come back. Then I can work on them, get them ready, and they're actually made a knife. I don't do my heat treating in-house. I use Peter's Heat Treat because we do batches. As you can see here, it would take quite a bit of time to do all these small knives at the same time and just keep it rolling. So I'll send them out. They're already stamped with my name on it and the V for the Void knife. All right, so if you want one of these, go to threeriverblades.com. I have other knives that are already available, ready to ship. Go to threeriverblades.com. Check out all the great knives I have up there. Make sure you become a Patreon member. Videos like this you will see prior to everybody else. Make sure you're on the mailing list. It's the only place that I'm sending discount codes. If you want a discount code on some of my blades, go to threeriverblades.com. Scroll all the way down to the bottom. First name, last name, and your email address. Check your email to opt in. All right, that's the only place I'm sending it. Check out all my other social media stuff. All right, guys, so that's pretty much it for me. Thank you for following along. Thank you for checking out threeriverblades.com. As always, guys, please stay safe.